I used to have a conflict of interest. I did not know whether I liked you or not. I felt a lot of grief. I don't know if grief is the right word. It's the first word that came to me. This oppressive tsunami of feelings in my chest. I wanted to know if you were worth my time. I had a conflict of interest. Still have a conflict of interest. I want to put my life on the line for everybody that I know. Not theoretically, not hypothetically, not as a thought experiment, but I want to be able to put my life on the line for you. And if you're talking to me the way that you have been talking to me, I'm not even sure. I really want to feel that I command your respect so that when you're speaking to me, I feel revered, venerated. Then I'm going to lay my life on the line for you. I don't lay my life on the line for just anyone. It goes back several decades. I don't know if I want to tell you the whole story, but I probably will because I like to talk. I was on this highway to hell. I had gotten off of the stairway to heaven and I was on the highway to hell. I had a reputation. For being the kind of man that you could rely on. But I suppose my ego got the best of me. I don't know. I'm a different kind of case. When I sit down to review the nuances I wonder how it came to pass that I became such and such a man, such and such a guy, such and such a gentleman, that I would lay my life on the line for you. It all happened, well, I already said, but I'm going to say it again, several years ago, decades. Decades before everything happened. We know that what just happened in the last couple years, and I don't even have to tell you. See, even if we're on a separate page about what happened in the last couple years, we do know for sure that life was much different. Very different. Before the thing that happened, and a lot of us don't even know how to describe it accurately. Before the thing that happened, you wouldn't think about necessarily putting your life down on the line for someone. You wouldn't even. But now, there are fewer people. Billions of fewer people. And reality has been turned on its head yet again. It was always turned on its head. We just didn't know it, and then we found out. And now you're so much more important to me because of all the billions of people who have died. And now, it's a real question for me. Would I put my life on the line for you? Do you deserve that? Now, before the great thing, as I call it, I wouldn't have imagined doing this, but the seeds were there. I searched back through my life. And I tried to discern and discover what it was that set me down this path of putting down my life on the line for almost anybody and everybody except for the people who take it for granted. And even then, I want to put my life down on the line for them. Not because my life doesn't have any meaning, not because I don't value myself, I do. But this is what is necessary today to make it through to the other side. We have to. We must put our lives on the line for one another. See, the predators used to be so obvious. And then the great thing happened. And we realized that, we did not know who the real predators were until the great thing happened. And that's when I woke up. That's when the seed truly exponentially expanded into the full-blown tree. And I received the fruit. When you don't know who is hunting you, when you don't even know that you're prey. And mind you, I had an intuition. I kind of knew, I definitely knew, but I didn't really know that the predator was really, really hunting me until the great thing happened. And I could feel the predator descending upon me with the great fangs and claws and snarls and grrr. When you don't know that you're prey, for an apex predator, you could take your life for granted, and you certainly wouldn't put it on the line for anybody else. But after you realize that you're always being watched, always being hunted, your life takes on a different meaning. It's more than just self-defense. Life becomes sacred in a way that it wasn't before when you didn't know. Before the great thing. And now, I see humanity in a different light altogether. I care more. I've always known, like I said, I've always known, but when the predator comes out into the open after the great thing, then of course others can't see it still. But when it's so extremely obvious, and still others people can't see it, you know, I know what life is about. Ask the bunny rabbit what life is about when it barely escapes the fox. Ask the gazelle when it barely escapes the cheetah. Ask the useful idiots. You ask the useless eaters what life is about when they barely escape death and they wake up to the truth of their predicament. Ask them, hey, you know, since the great thing, you only have so much time left. You only have so many years. You are such a great person. I care for you. I love you. You're gonna die a lot sooner than you think. That's what I'm picking up from the Akashic Records anyways when I tune into the Schumann resonance. Get my download after I've already done my upload. I get really wound up when I watch TV sometimes. Just recently I see the 3 top tennis players, Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic, and I look at those names, Roger Federer, I think FedEx, Rafael Nadal, somehow I think of ibuprofen. Nadal? Novak Djokovic. Novak. Novak. Which of those tennis stars survived the great thing? Think carefully. It's a puzzle, it's a mystery. FedEx, ibuprofen, or Novak? Seen? What have you seen that would allow you to really grok what I'm saying? I speak in code because I'm being hunted. You listen in code because you're being hunted, and when we speak and listen in code, we care for each other much more than we did before the great thing. We might put our lives on the line for each other. Don't disrespect me now. Not after the great thing. Can't afford to do that. Can't afford to. Life is a lot more precious now. It sucks. It sucks. You don't know where they are. Oh, and we're past the point of paranoia. Past the point of paranoia. When you have a regulated nervous system, it's not paranoia, it's just constant vigilance. Eternal vigilance. You want to be the tennis star that survives, don't you? They're all neck and neck. 20 for Federer, 20 for Djokovic, and 21 now for Nadal because, well, Djokovic didn't play. Novak said no in Australia. Who's going to be the one with the most Grand Slam victories? I think we know. I think we know. I think we know which one of those stars would put his life on the line for you. I think we know. Because when someone truly values their own life, they're even more likely to put their life on the line for yours. Because when I truly value my life, I truly value your life. So if you're threatened, I'm threatened. The great thing, so many great things, great awakenings, great resets, great things. Great. You don't have to tell me whether I can trust you or not. All I need to do is see whether you're worthy for me to put my life on the line for you. And I know whether you're worthy based on whether you value your own life. If you don't value your life, I'm surely not going to put my life on the line for you. Because I value my life and it would not be an equal exchange. It's the principle of fair exchange, the principle of equivalence. Will there be more great things? Not in the same way. But kinda. There have been so many great things that weren't recognized for what they were. And now, this great thing we kind of see, don't we? It's very unlike the other great things. The predator came out of the shadows. The predator shows you its claws. The predator shows you its fangs. Unlike any predator you've ever seen. Unlike any predator that you could ever imagine. This predator is so ferocious that you haven't even gotten to the point where you can fathom its ferocity. Fathom its evil. And this is why we must learn to put our lives on the line for each other.